What's up guys, Tyler, welcome back to a brand new video and happy Superman Day. And for this video I decided to do a ranking of all live action Superman actors. So this will be my Superman Day 2024 video. So as always, let's get into it. So before we get into the Superman stuff, I did want to show you guys this. I completely forgot to show this in my X-Men Days of Future Past 10th anniversary special video. Is a Blu-ray that came with the gift set. So here's a Blu-ray. There's this nice, cool, shiny cover. There's the back. And here's the 2 discs that come with it. It's pretty cool. Also comes with this nice little art book, which I'll go through real quick. And there actually is one X-Men connection, well, X-Men and Superman connection, and that connection is John Oldman, who did the score for X-Men 2, Days of Future Past, and of course Superman Returns. So it's a cool little trivia for you guys right there. So getting into the Superman stuff today. So here's a magazine. I might have shown this on my channel before a few months back, but here's a magazine. This goes through the TV shows, the cartoons, and the movies. But the only TV show it doesn't go through is Superman and Lois. I think that's because that show is still airing. So who knows if they might put out a revised version of this magazine with Superman and Lois. So I do love that cover. That's pretty cool. Surprise actually has George Reeves on there, so that's pretty cool. Very rare you see George Reeves on a Superman magazine. And it's very rare you see Henry Cavill on a Superman magazine too, so that is pretty cool. Got Christopher Reeve. We actually have him on there twice. I think that was a waste in a way. No disrespect to Christopher Reeve. I think that they should have put another actor right here, because he's already front and center right here. So I think that spot should have gone to Dean Kane. So we've got Brandon Routh right here. Again, and Cavill. And George Reeves. So we could put Tyler Hoechlin on here too. But anyway, so I'll be ranking the Superman actors. This is all in my opinion, by the way, from worst to best. So first off, we have Kirk Alyn, the very first live action Superman. So of course, Superman, I want to say, was probably 10 years old at this point, because this was in the 40s. So this is way before they started to add the characters with let's see, how do I word this? That was before they add more depth to the characters. So basically Superman, a guy flying, not superpowers. Everyone is impressed, basically. No political stuff like the later iterations have to do with the story. So, but for him being the first live action Superman, I really give kudos to him. And he's actually in the expanded edition of the 78 Superman movie. I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we have George Reeves. He played Superman for, I think, 6 years. Yeah, 6 seasons on the series. So, and I really thought he played a great Clark Kent and Superman. The dynamic was pretty cool. You got the reporter Clark Kent and the Daily Planet, and you got Superman. So I know for a lot of people he was their favorite Superman growing up. But I really did love the cast of that TV show. The cast for that show was phenomenal. So next up we have this little bit changer, a game changer right here. We have Tyler Hoechlin. I don't have any pictures of him or anything like that. I don't have any of the DVDs yet of Superman and Lois, but it's because I have more actors ranked higher than him. So Tyler Hoechlin, I think he is a great modern day version of Superman. It took me a while to get used to him because at the time we still had Henry Cavill as Superman. That was before BVS came out and Justice League and all that. And I think that he plays a great modern version of the character. First, when I first saw him in Supergirl, he reminded me a little bit of Christopher Reeve because of his attitude with a smile and everything. Then when he got his own show, and honestly, I knew that he was going to get his own show. I mean, because it's Superman, you can't expect Superman to be in the Arrowverse and not have a TV show. So, but Superman and Lois is great. I think it's a great show. The stories to tackle is awesome. Tyler Hoechlin's dynamic as Clark and Superman, I think it's great. The way he stood up for Lois in one of the episodes, and I think it was season 3, I thought was pretty cool. Keep in mind, this isn't Superman, this is Clark Kent standing up for his being all tough and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I never seen Clark Kent do anything like that in live action. I thought that was pretty cool. That reminded me a little bit of Christopher Reeve in Superman 2 where it says, "Would you care to step outside?" So I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, so getting into the top 5 right here. We have Dean Kane from Lois and Clark. So I thought that Dean Kane played a great Superman and Clark. And Lois and Clark to me was interesting because it wasn't just a regular Superman show. It wasn't about Superman. It was about Lois and Clark in the newsroom, in the Daily Planet, which I thought was pretty cool. And I just love the dynamic he had with Terry Hatcher as Lois Lane. I think she played a great Lois Lane. In my opinion, this is the first Superman they cast where how do I put this? This is the first or sexy looking Superman, as a lot of people would say, because a lot of actors after that they tend to be more good looking. So, and he was in shape. You could tell they worked off the role too, and the story behind him getting the role I thought was pretty cool. Because they were casting a bunch of other actors, and a bunch of women were lining up just to see him. So I thought that was pretty cool. When they turned it down at first, and then all the producers saw that, they were like, "We just found a Superman." So I thought that was pretty cool. But, would I like to see him return as Superman someday? I would absolutely say yes to that. I'd like to see him back to Superman. I think it would be interesting. I think it could be interesting to see all the remaining actors who play Superman that are still alive come together a one crossover. I think that would be great. So, and next up, we have Tom Welling, who we all know he didn't play Superman, but he played Clark Kent on Smallville for 10 years. So at the end of the day, he basically played Superman longer than any actor. So Tom Welling, you can tell from season 1 and later seasons that he always does the right thing, and it's his time in Smallville that really made him who he is or is going to be, which we all know is going to be Superman. So I just like the way that story was. And of course, Tom Welling, that was actually his first acting job, and I thought that he did a great job, and he didn't even have to wear the suit. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he never really wore the suit because he didn't want to get typecasted, which is totally understandable. I think he did great as the role of Clark Kent. And considering he never put the suit on, I'm surprised that the show lasted for 10 years. So I think he was great as Clark Kent. Next up, we have Henry Cavill. Now, Henry Cavill, to me, besides Man Routh, is like the black sheep of Superman because he really did not get the credit he deserved. Because the writing in some of the movies could have been a little bit better. But Man of Steel, I'm just glad we got this movie. Because Man of Steel, to me, it went more in depth with the origins of Krypton, the designs and stuff like that. It got away from the whole Reeve era stuff with the crystals and all that, which I thought that was a smart move because every time everyone thinks of the Fortress of Solitude or anything like that, it has to do with the crystals and all that. And pretty much every adaptation after the Reeves films is basically the same. So I thought it was pretty cool. We got something different with Zack Snyder's world on the DCEU. Cavill, I think to me, is like the badass version of Superman. And what I loved about him and Man of Steel is that he's trying to find out who he was. It wasn't a typical Superman movie where he's Superman now. You get a little bit of flashbacks of the origin, which we do get a little bit of flashbacks between him being a teenager and a kid, but it's very brief in the movie. And I just like how he's trying to figure out who he is as a Kryptonian. And then at the end of the film, he becomes Clark Kent. So I thought that was a pretty cool move right there. And we never really got to see him fully evolve as the Superman we all know and love. So one day we could see him back as Superman. That would be cool. And then here we have Brandon Routh. So he was only in one film, which is obviously Superman Returns, but he did come back in the Crisis on Infinite Earths Arrowverse crossover, which I thought was great. When I saw him in that crossover, I was just blown away because I never thought I would see him as Superman again. And it's great that they brought him back because everyone knows that he played a great Superman, and I just think that some of the plot of the movie gets a bad rep with a lot of fans. And one thing that I do agree with some fans is that there could have been more Superman, and I totally agree with that. There should have been more Superman in the movie. But for what it was, I really think one thing that suffered from the movie is it really trying to be a tribute to the Christopher Reeve films, and he's basically like a copycat Superman. But at the same time, his character went more in depth with the story. And with Man of Steel, with Henry Cavill, I think in certain parts of the film, or in both films, lacking. Like, for example, in Superman Returns, it was lacking with the action. And in Man of Steel, it was lacking with, I guess, characterization. But overall, I think that Brandon Routh played a great Superman. I'm glad that they brought him back for Crisis because that was pretty cool. Seeing him interact with Tyler Hoechlin was awesome. Of course, seeing Tom Welling in that crossover was awesome too. And then, number one, it's no surprise, Christopher Reeve. So, when I first saw this film back when I was a kid, I was just blown away by the music, the aesthetics, and the effects. This movie, well, actually, this is Superman 2, but I want to get a good picture of Christopher Reeve for this. But first saw Superman 1, I was just blown away because, I mean, the effects back then, not bad. I mean, not bad for 1978, am I right? And the characterization and the writing and his character, it was really something that I had never seen before. And this might have been before I saw the first few Batman and Spider-Man movies, maybe, or somewhere around that time. I can't remember exactly, but I just remember seeing this guy become Superman and flying around and having a great attitude and saving people and giving them certain messages like don't smoke, stuff like that. You know, standard Superman stuff. But the way he did it though, and like Richard Darn said, he was more than an actor. He was Superman. And honestly, he was Superman. And I'm glad that they brought him back in Smallville. That was so cool. That was such a monumental moment to see for me as a fan. I did not expect it. So, and even though they brought him back using CGI and the Flash, I thought it was cool. But what I didn't know is that they didn't even contact his estate and get their permission to do that. So I thought that was pretty crappy of them to do. But it was nice seeing him though there, and I can't wait for that documentary to come out in September. It's gonna tell a story. But overall, so this is my ranking of all the Superman actors. Let me know what you guys' favorite Superman actor is, or your top 5. So happy Superman Day, everyone. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, guys.